Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of City Skylines, where in the last episode we did plenty of work here on Amity Square to expand the financial district of our city a little bit. We added some banks, we also added our stock exchange, unlocking our investments tab, which we are not going to use, by the way, because I don't think you can make a whole lot of money, or you could probably make a whole lot of money with it, but not enough for the city to stay afloat. And since we are losing 170 a week anyway, it doesn't matter that much to us at the moment. Now today we are not going to work on Amity Square. We are not going to work on Florida Square, even though we did add this little oil industry last time round. What we are going to do today is we are going to tie up a few of the loose ends that we still have lying around before we jump into the major project for today, which will be our international airport. Now the first thing that we need to finish up over here is we need to add maybe a unique factory or two and fill in the rest of this area over here with some low density residential. Also, I thought about a way of how I could improve this vacation park. I'm not quite happy with the looks of it, but what we're going to do is we're going to add a festival area on this side. Lots of parking. So, there is a reason why this retreat exists. It's because there's a festival area over here every once in a while. Hundreds of thousands of people are coming here, listening to bands, listening to music, and they have to have a place to sleep. So that is why this holiday retreat is here. Then next thing that we need to finish up is I would like to add a little bit more to Marley Beach, and I would like to add a little bit more to our industrial area, but I don't think that is something that we're going to do today. So the next thing we have to finish up is the highway over here. We made it pretty much up until here. So everything going right from here, we have to fix a little. I don't like the way how this looks at all. And since our international airport is going to be on reclaimed land here in the harbor, this highway needs to come over here as well, give us highway access to the international airport, as well as the train track that goes over here. I want a train terminal at the harbor as well. And I think that is it. I might pull the metro all the way to the international airport. Not quite sure about that, but we'll see about that. So today in this episode we are going to be touching up a few little places on the map that may have been overlooked or could do with some improvement before we start with the big project for today, which is the airport. All right, here it is, our new international airport, which for now is still called Rosewood Metropolitan Airport, but if you have a better name for that, please let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, pretty happy with how it turned out. I don't think we're quite finished just yet. As you maybe saw in the time-lapse, I started out with having 2 runways parallel next to each other, but I decided, you know, that's not really realistic, is it? Because even though runways in this game are only used in one direction, runways in real life are used in both directions. So it wouldn't make a lot of sense to have 2 runways parallel right next to each other, you know, because you can do the same with 1 runway, maybe a little bit less traffic. But airports have gotten so efficient these last couple of decades that, you know, you can have a plane every couple of minutes probably. So that wasn't really realistic. So maybe I will add, I was thinking maybe add another runway at like an angle, like so over here. But then again, this has already been a pretty costly project with all the land reclamation, stuff like that going on, and the highway being built. So I don't think that would be really realistic either. One thing that I am thinking of doing though is adding a smaller second airport on this side over here, but only for cargo. Maybe that would look nice. It would probably help out a lot with our cargo traffic as well if we can export some of it through the air and import some of it through the air. The only concern I have about that is whether or not I can make it work with the road network that we have going on over here, which was a pretty big pain in the, you know what, to build, let me tell you. So this is the junction that I came up with. It's not what I had in mind when I started building this, but I think it turned out pretty nice. We might do a little bit of upgrading to this in the future, but for now I think it looks pretty nice. We also have our railroad connection that branches off from both of the directions into the airport. So that is nice to have as well. And we have, of course, this really long bridge. Now that I'm looking at it, the railway is a lot higher than the car bridge. Don't know how I feel about that. Anyway, we might pull them up to the same height in the future, but yeah. So for the rest of the airport, we have, of course, a whole lot of parking because, you know, airports have long-term parking. We have 2 parking garages and 4 massive parking lots. We also have the airline headquarters and some hotels over here with some nice parks and plazas. One thing I don't really like is this control tower here. I think it's probably way too small. Can't even properly look out over these. So let's see, do we have anything else? This one, the classic one, it's a little bit higher, but not much. This is the one we're using. This one is even smaller. I think I have 1 or 2, yeah, oh yeah, look at this. I was gonna say, I think I have 1 or 2 workshop towers. This one is pretty cool. Ooh, and this one is nice as well. And this one attaches to the building the same as the other one does. So let's get rid of this one and then put that one over here. Yeah, that's much better. Oh, autosave. Much better. Much better. Excellent. At least now when you're in the top of the tower, you can see the runway. Right, so another thing I did over here is I added a few helicopter depots, a fire helicopter depot, a medical helicopter depot, a police helicopter depot, and in order to do that I had to, you know, they have to be placed on a road, so I did add some roads underneath the taxi lanes, so you'll probably see some cars driving around, like this garbage truck over here driving around the airport collecting garbage, stuff like that. So that is to get these helicopter depots working, because if you're gonna put those helicopter depots anywhere, why not on an airport, right? So on this side we have some parked planes, some hangars, so a little parking area for the planes over here. It still feels a little bit empty to me, even though we have a whole lot of props put down, but there are so many green spaces still that, I don't know, maybe we need to add some more park planes, stuff like that, but still feels a little bit empty to me. So we're going to do a little bit more detailing for this airport in the future. But for now, I am glad that it works and we have a nice highway connection and a nice railroad connection to it. Now, I didn't put any metro or subway in here because I think it's just a little bit too far away from Florence Square, and especially Amity Square over here. Is it Amity? Yeah, Amity. Over there, don't think a subway would be all that realistic, going all that way under the water. I think that would be a little bit too expensive for a city of this size. So I didn't do that. Like I said, maybe we'll add a cargo airport over here in the future. A smaller version and connect it up somehow. Make it the same airport, but be on two distinct islands, so to speak. So yeah, that is a nice project for the future. And coming back to this part of the city where we added a little bit of a festival area to the back of this campground, these holiday houses. So we have a lot of parking here, a big lungs of the city park type of thing, and we have the festival area and the backstage area. Oh, that's a person. The backstage fan zone park area. So yeah, this would be a really nice location to have a music festival with a big stage over here, lots of people already, multiple smaller stages over here, some tents, some fan stuff. Yeah, really good, excellent. I really like how that looks as well. So yeah, the airport, it did take a little bit longer to build than I anticipated at first, because I didn't really know what I wanted to build. I only knew that I wanted to build an airport, but I didn't know how to build it. So there were a few iterations, and of course the road and the rail network, connecting those up was a little bit tricky as well, but I think we managed okay. So yeah, I think this is going to be it for today. I'm going to leave you with a few more cinematic shots of our new airport and maybe of the rest of the city as well. I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.